Chatters, chatties, welcome home for a Great American Chat, a podcast where we chat about great American media. I'm Chad Maurice. I got Rudolph on my wall. I got my Christmas sweater. I got my Santa hat. Happy Christmas. Hope you're having a good one. Today is December 29th. It is the fifth day of Christmas. Did your true love give you 5 golden rings? Mine didn't, because I ain't got no true love. But if I did, I would have given her 5 golden rings. So this holiday season, have you been watching the Great American Christmas movies? I've been trying to keep up with them. I haven't had time to do any podcast episodes on them because my work has been taking up 60 hours of my week, and also because Windows 10 support ended in October. And so I had to delete Windows 10 from my computer, and I had to install a completely different software. And the website I use to stream these episodes isn't user-friendly with this new operating system. So today is an experiment. I'm giving this a try to see if it'll work. The video might freeze up. The audio might stop. Who knows? I don't know. But we're going to give it a try. So today we are chatting about a movie that I really enjoyed called A Christmas Prayer. I forget when this one aired. Did this air in October or November? I can't remember. But anyway, the synopsis of this one says, an illustrator discovers a girl's Christmas list of prayers for others, including her widowed father. As she secretly fulfills these wishes, she finds renewed creativity and creates an angel character. So this is the movie that starred Shae Robbins from the Destined at Christmas movies, and also stars Christopher Russell from When Hope Calls. It's directed by Nicholas Humphreys and written by Ainsley Gordon. So this is the story of Natalie, played by Shae Robbins. She is an illustrator and she's having problems illustrating. Our male lead, like I said, his name is Wes, played by Christopher Russell. He is a single father. He has a daughter named Caroline, and he is a Scrooge because Christmas reminds him of his deceased wife. So we got a Scrooge character in this one. So Caroline his daughter has this Sunday school assignment. And instead of writing letters to Santa asking for toys and gifts for themselves, their Sunday school teacher wants them to write a prayer list to Jesus asking for gift for others. So I really like this idea. I thought this was pretty cool. So Natalie, our female main character there, she works at Blitz Publishing, which I'm guessing is short for Blitzen. Obviously, the writer, Ainsley Gordon, had a Christmas idea going on, so she shortened Blitzen to Blitz. So I like that. She approaches her boss. She says she has an idea for a faith-based book series aimed at kids. Her boss says, that doesn't sound good. Bring me an example. So her boss is a little Scroogey too in this movie. So Natalie, we meet her character when she's out on a dinner date with some guy. I don't know if it's a blind date or if she actually knows this guy. I'm not sure. But she goes to the bathroom and her date takes off. He leaves a note on the table saying thanks, but no thanks. So Wes is, hold on, I got to adjust my light here. So Wes is at the table next to her having dinner with Santa, who happens to be his dad. Natalie and Wes check each other out when they're leaving the restaurant that night, but that's not our meet cute. Our meet cute occurs at a coffee shop when Natalie is there having coffee with a friend and Wes is having coffee with Santa Dad. Wes shows Santa Caroline's prayer list, and he's worried that she will get disappointed and lose faith if her prayers aren't answered. So Natalie gets up to leave, and when she's leaving, she spills coffee all over their table with this big purse that she carries around. Caroline's prayer list falls on the floor, and Wes and Caroline, they're like, hey, we got to get out of here. We got to get away from her. She's like a catastrophe waiting to happen here. So they bug out before she does any more damage. Natalie picks up this prayer list because the prayer list, like I said, fell on the floor. So Natalie picks it up. And instead of running after them and giving it back to them like a normal person would do, she takes it home and she reads it over and she gets inspired. She gets an idea for a book and creates a character called Adeline the Angel. And it's about this angel who fulfills prayers for people. So she has dinner with her grandmother. Her grandmother tells her that she should answer Caroline's prayers. And Natalie's like, really? You think so? Okay, I'll give it a try. So the first thing on the list is a plane ticket for their mailman. I think his name is Hank. I can't remember. Might be right. He wants a plane ticket to visit his daughter who is overseas, or he doesn't want. This is what Caroline wants for him. Now, apparently, Natalie and Wes have the same mailman because she knows this mailman. So Natalie is like, hey, yeah, that's Hank. That's my mailman too. So Natalie goes around to all the neighbors and asks for a donation to buy a plane ticket for Hank. She gives the mailman this wad of money in this envelope. Then the postman is delivering mail to Caroline, and he tells her that he is going overseas to see his daughter. And Caroline gets all excited. She runs and tells her dad that Jesus answered one of my prayers. And he's like, yeah, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willis? I don't think so. Caroline begs her dad for a Christmas tree. He doesn't want one because Christmas trees remind him of his deceased wife. So the other prayers that are on this list that Adeline the angel fulfills is she gets new boots and a coat for Caroline's classmate. Caroline wants candy canes hung on a tree in the park, so Natalie does that. She asks for poinsettias for one of the neighbors, and she asks for a new nativity scene for one of the other neighbors. So Natalie does all that during the movie. You can see her doing all this. Natalie then pitches this new book idea to her boss about Adeline the Angel. And her boss, because she has no heart, she says, no dice, don't like it. Wes then invites Santa Dad over for dinner, but his dad says, no, can't go. I'm going to the church to decorate ornaments. And he invites Wes to come with him, but since Wes is a Scrooge, he turns him down. Now, apparently, not only do Natalie and Wes live in the same neighborhood, but they also go to the same church. And it is the most disorganized church in the history of churches because they are hosting an ornament decorating party tonight, but they do not have a tree to hang the ornaments on. So Natalie volunteers to go to the Christmas tree lot to get a tree. And she runs into Wes because Wes has broken down and has decided to buy a tree for Caroline. The tree lot is sold out of trees. A van blocks them in when they try to leave, and instead of asking the van driver to move his van, they decide to order soup and have it delivered. You know, which is what anyone would do, right? That was a little weird. That was a little wild, I thought. Wes tells her about Caroline's prayer list, and she's like, yeah, I know all about it. Save your breath, buddy. No, she didn't say that. But she was thinking it because she already knows about the prayer list because she's the one who has it. So they talk about Jesus and his faith wandering. This was a nice scene. She says that Jesus has a way of working things out, and you need to slow down your life and spend more time with him. She pitches the Adeline angel story again to her boss, and her boss still says no. So then she and Wes go to another tree lot because they're still trying to find a tree for this church. And I'm not sure if all this story happened in one day or what the heck was going on here, but it seemed like a really long day to find this tree for this church. So they have a candy cane fight at this tree lot, these big, huge blow-up candy canes. They exchange addresses and they find out that they live in the same neighborhood. So, yeah, this is another wild thing. They go to the same church, they live in the same neighborhood, yet they don't know each other. They're complete strangers. He takes a tree to her house. Why he does this, I don't know, because she bought the tree for the church. So this was a little confusing. So I'm guessing she must have bought two trees because she already had a tree for her house because she told Wes that earlier at the first tree lot. She says, "Oh, I already have a tree for my house. I'm here to buy a tree for the church." But yet he takes a tree to her house. So I'm guessing the only thing I can think of is that she bought two trees. She bought a second tree for her house and then another tree for the church. I guess. I don't know. That didn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, he stays and he helps decorate this tree. They touch hands while reaching for an ornament. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And then things get awkward and he runs out. Ah, little coward. She takes ornaments over to their house and drops them off on their front porch without them knowing. Yeah, because I guess they didn't say that they didn't have any ornaments. I don't know. I guess she must have assumed they didn't have any ornaments since they didn't have a tree. So yeah, she's got a ton of ornaments in her shed or somewhere. So she sneaks over at night and drops this box of ornaments off on their front porch. Natalie's boss. Okay, this is the other Scrooge in the story. She finds Caroline's prayer list on Natalie's desk and wants her to use it in her book. And Natalie says, "No, can't do that. That wouldn't be right." Wes tells, and then her boss, I think, says, "Hey, either use the list or you don't get this book deal," I think is what her boss tells her. Wes tells Santa Dad he wants to find out who is answering his daughter's prayers and get them to stop. And Santa Dad is like, "Why would you want him to stop?" He says he doesn't want her to be disappointed when one isn't answered, so he brings this up again. So all of them go caroling with the church. Let's see, all of them go caroling with the church. Wes, yeah, Natalie's grandmother, and Santa Dad. Yeah, they all decide to go caroling. So they're going to meet at the church. And then Wes and Natalie realize that their grandmother and Santa Dad already know each other because they met the night that the church was decorating the ornaments. Natalie and her grandmother invite Wes and Santa and Caroline over to their house to bake cookies. And this is where the conflict occurs. Wes finds Caroline's prayer list in Natalie's kitchen drawer. Weird place to put that list, but I guess she was cleaning up really fast and had to hide it real quick, so she threw it in the kitchen drawer. He thinks that she has been using them just to write a book and get a book deal. So he gets mad and he storms out. So she is obviously upset. So to try to make it up to them, she leaves a box of cookies on their doorstep as a peace offering. Then she prays, asking the Lord to help Wes forgive her. She texts him to apologize, and when she does, she attaches her book for him to read. Wes tells Caroline that Jesus wasn't answering your prayers. It was someone else. And she says, "Yeah, I know. It was Miss Natalie. How could you not know that?" He's like, "Oh, it was? How'd you figure that out?" She says, "Natalie did a great job. Jesus answered my prayers through her." And she also says that just because mom is no longer with us, that doesn't mean our Christmas traditions have to end. That's right. Santa Dad reads Natalie's book and shows it to Wes, and Wes reads it, and his heart grows 3 sizes larger. He gets emotional and realizes Natalie's heart was in the right place. So then Wes leaves a letter on Natalie's doorstep, addressed to Adeline the angel. He asks Natalie to forgive him for getting upset, and while she is reading it, he pops up from around the corner like a stalker. Yeah, this was a little creepy. He was like hiding in the bushes in her front yard. and he's just sitting there all night waiting for her to come home and read this letter. Yeah, that was a little strange. He apologizes for losing his cool. He kisses her and tells her Santa Dad would like to invest in her book and make it a series. Ooh, her boss is not going to like that. He invites her and her grandmother to their house for pizza, and then they kiss again as the credits roll. And that pretty much sums up A Christmas Prayer. And I got to say, I really like this movie. This was one of the better movies of this season, I thought. I love the Christmas theme. How about that it's better to give than to receive? Really enjoy that. I love this prayer list idea, writing a prayer list to Jesus rather than writing a gift list to Santa. Because, of course, like we all know, Jesus should be the main character of the Christmas season, not Santa. It definitely should be Jesus. So I like this. I really like this. I like the theme of this movie. Thumbs up for me, definitely. I thought these two leads, Shae and Christopher, had really good chemistry. I thought they were really good together. Now, this child actress who plays Caroline, her name is Madeline Cox. I think she steals the show in this movie. I think she is just great in this movie. She's the shining star. She's the star of Bethlehem in this movie, in my opinion. The conflict in this movie is pretty understandable and reasonable. I mean, he finds this prayer list, and yeah, it makes sense that he would think that she was just using them to get a book deal, because that's what she does. She works for a publishing company. The things that don't make sense in this movie, though, there are a few things. How is his father the same age as her grandmother? This really confused me, because Natalie and Wes are roughly the same age. So her grandmother would be like 20 years older than his father. Yet there is a secondary romance going on, because her grandmother tells Natalie that she has a crush on Wes's father. So yeah, I didn't quite understand this age difference going on here. Didn't make a lot of sense, but I guess you just have to go with it. The other thing that didn't make much sense is these two go to the same church and they live in the same neighborhood, yet they do not know each other and have never met. This was a little far-fetched, a little hard for me to believe. Because you got two attractive people who are the same age, live in the same neighborhood, go to the same church. Come on. They would definitely know each other. Yeah. Wasn't buying that part of the movie. If you were playing Christmas bingo watching this movie, there were a few bingo things in this movie. We had a cookie baking montage. We had a cute kid. We had 2 Christmas tree farms. We have a deceased spouse and a character with no Christmas spirit. We had a candy cane fight instead of a snowball fight. And there was also a surprise homecoming from a military personnel. So yeah, a lot of Christmas bingo items in this movie. So after watching this movie, the things I'm left wondering is, why did her boss say when she found, sorry. I was thinking, what did Natalie's boss say when she found out about Wes's father investing in this book to get it published? Because Natalie works for a publishing company. So he's going to get it published from a different publishing company that Natalie doesn't work for. So I would have liked to have seen her boss's reaction when she found out about that. And is Natalie going to get fired for working with another publishing company on this book? I would think so. I think her job is kaput, done for. So I don't know if you heard, I'm sure you heard, but the network announced on social media that there is going to be a sequel to this movie for next Christmas. And I'm wondering what's going to happen in this sequel. They mentioned in this movie, when she's talking about creating a book series based on Adeline the Angel, she says that, Adeline could travel the world and fulfill prayers for kids around the world. So I wonder if that's what's going to happen in the sequel. I'm guessing that Natalie, I guess, is going to meet some other child that has prayer wishes and fulfill their prayers like she did Caroline's in this movie. I would guess. And will Wes and Natalie still be together? I'm sure they will be. So yeah, that's A Christmas Prayer. I really like this one, even though it did have some weird stuff in it. I thought it was a good Christmas themed movie, because a lot of these movies, you know, they have nothing to do with Christmas. There's just Christmas is just the backdrop in the movie. The movie just takes place in the month of December, but it really has nothing to do with Christmas. But this one did. This one had a nice Christmas theme to it. So if you're not subscribing to the podcast on social medias, please follow along and subscribe. I am up to 499 subscribers on YouTube. I just need one more subscriber on YouTube to hit 500. So that'd be nice if that would happen. And let's see, on Instascam, I'm only 6 away from 1,300 followers. So follow along on Instascam. Leave a comment about the podcast on the podcast apps. That always helps get the podcast become more popular. And also helps me continue to do this podcast. I'll see what's going on in January. I'm going to try to do some more of these Christmas movies that I didn't get to. I'll maybe do a few in January. See what happens, see how my free time looks. But that is it for now. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas season. And until we talk again, you keep the faith. Keep smiling, keep your friends close, and keep your great American family closer. Thanks for being here. Merry Christmas.